the dashboard to the sheet. Please don't get confused with that view when we'll get there.
So what should I open here?
What data source do you have? Like Excel, you should have some sample data source, right? So either to use extract. No, let's click on Excel and so that I can walk you through the extract creation process.
Want me to click
connect to data link, and then do you have any databases set up, or we will have the Excel or Access, which is there already there with the sample data source.
I don't have the spreadsheet software on my laptop.
Okay. So then you can click on the extra. Okay, then let me show that on my end. Then that's the first thing that I want to start with. That's the easiest thing to do. Okay, firing up Tableau. One of my candidates have interviewed me. Okay. Firing up. Should we email Rajni?
Yes, Varun?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're there, but
Yeah, I'm actually switching to desktop version again.
So, okay. So please do that, at the time of joining itself, so that, we can make you the presenter as well.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So you click on connect to data, and you have all the
Muted. Unmuted.
Okay. We have all these data sources available. Data connectors available to get connected. See, this is like Tableau data extract. I'll come back to what Tableau data extract means. Microsoft Access, Excel, normal CSV or TSV files. You can import from another workbook. Then you have the Tableau server. That is where you can, whether you have extract published to the Tableau server, you can connect from there. Then there are lots of other data sources like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, Hadoop, SAP HANA, Teradata, or if there's something which is not included in the list, you can install the ODBC driver for the data source and then use the ODBC here. ODBC is always slower, so if you have an option, if you already have a driver for your data source, then use that. Only then, if you don't have it, only then use ODBC. So now that we have Excel, I'm going to click on Microsoft Excel, scroll down, and click on the Superstore subset Excel file, click open. Okay. Now we've got 3 sheets here, and we can see a preview of the data from here. It's asking me a PIN number. What's that? Is it asking me to enter PIN? Hold on, Rajni. Let me check. I don't have a. We have a PIN number for this. I'm not sure, Rajni, whether we have a PIN number for this.
Yeah, we had a number, right?
Let me check. This meeting link is not mine. You got it? Yeah, okay. Okay? All right. Okay, but you're still using the phone instead of the desktop client.
Okay, Varun.
Yeah, that is okay. Okay. I'm muting you because its voice is echoing. See that? They're still using phone there. Okay. So now we see the preview. And we have all the data there. And okay, click OK. And we can drag in one of the sheets from there. And Tableau is very easy to use. You know, you just say I got a user sheet. I can drag in that too, and it will automatically create a join for me based on the common column, and I can edit that. See, the join is now based on region from the order sheet and region from the user sheet. And default join is inner. You can choose left or right or full outer, or you can change the column there. Now there are two ways of joining data in Tableau. One is creating an outright join like this. So, but creating a join here will also be a performance constraint. Okay. Yeah, unmuting you, Rajini. Yeah, Rajini, yes? I've unmuted you. Okay.
Thanks, Varun.
Yeah, please mute at your end, otherwise my voice will echo there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, coming back. There are two ways you can join data in Tableau. One is joining it this way, which is say when you are connecting to the same data source and you are getting data from multiple tables, you can create joins, which is fine. So every time you create a visualization based on this join data, whether you need it or not, data from the secondary table, join query will always be sent, which is a little inefficient. So there is another way of joining called data blending. Now data blending works exactly like almost like Excel VLOOKUP. Did I explain VLOOKUP to you yesterday? Did I do that? I mean, VLOOKUP and data blending?
No.
Oh, okay. So that was for another session. I don't remember which session I explained that. Okay, we'll get there. I'm sorry. We need to get a document ready then, what all topics that we have discussed. All right. So here, I have this here. So I'm right now not taking in the user sheet. I'm just taking the order sheet. So clicking on Go to Worksheet. So I have the data there. And this part here is the dimensions. And this is the meshes. So together, we get all the columns from the data source. And see that we can see the preview here. Nice and easy. One single way of saying things. And all dimensions are text data. And measures are numbers which can be aggregated. All measures are numbers, but all numbers are not measures. For instance, customer ID is not a measure because you cannot aggregate customer ID. Sum of customer ID never makes sense. Or sum of row ID never makes sense. That's why we have order ID, customer ID, and row ID. All these in the dimensions, and these comes in the measures. And these dimensions come in the dim tables in the data warehousing, and the measures come in the fact tables. So this will be from fact sales, and this will be from the fact dim products, dim customers. That's how the organization would work in DWBI. Okay, and this part here is the data source. See this. And get the properties where you pull the data from. See, this is from Excel, and when I pull the data in, which is the worksheet, and I can create extract here. This is how you create extract, but I'll get to what extract means. Before I create extract, let me tell you what extract means. Did I tell you what extract is?
No.
Okay. Tableau is a query-based tool. There are competitors of Tableau are Spotfire and ClickView. Tableau is query based, and the competitors are TIBCO, Spotfire, and click View. These are in-memory analytics. So naturally, in-memory would be much faster than query-based. Now, for understanding Tableau, you should also understand a little bit on the history of Tableau. Tableau started off as a research project by 2 PhD students. I guess it was for Stanford. I'll confirm whether it was at Stanford. And they had this generic idea, the crazy thing that any database should be, this tool that you're developing should be able to query any data source, whether it is database or flat files, anything, without writing queries. Query data source without queries. Visually querying data. So they created a tool to do exactly that. And also, as a second phase, they created modules for creating the visualizations based on data using the free library, GTK library there, with C library for Linux. And the querying language which the tool generated to query the data, they named it as, it's a proprietary technology, they named as VisQL, Visual Query Language. So Tableau has, the underlying technology of Tableau is VisQL. Whenever you create a, drag and drop things like this, it is basically creating a visual query. Now to see that visual query, it's like pretty simple. I'm going to do a performance recording. I'll talk about all these performance recording later. Right now I just want to show you some example of visual query. So for that, I started the recording there. Drag, drop, sort, turn on labels, color by. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. So a dashboard will pop up automatically. This is for performance tuning of Tableau. We'll get to this part in the later half. So here we'll do performance. This is how we get information on performance tuning. And see, okay. So we are looking at events which took more than 0.07 seconds. And we see executing query, so I click on executing query. And this is the visual query language which Tableau is running. Make sense? See, it is pulling from Tableau temp order sheet, and it's pulling the product subcategory, and it is aggregating there. Okay? So you get the basic idea, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Question, Varun here.
Yeah.
Do we have any step-by-step documentation how to reach to the screen that you're right now showing to us?
Yes, definitely. I mean, like, I got lots of documentation. I don't want to, send this all the documentation right away. People get usually, the basic psychology is like, well, people who come for training want to see these things on the fly being generated. I could have pre-created these things and then showed you slides as you see those boring presentations in companies, organizations. I don't want to do it that way because I want you to learn that organic manner, like, start with a clean state and, do things one by one. If you want documents, you can upload them. There are tons of documentation with me. All of them. Let me create a Google Drive for all of you, for you to batch and add everybody there.
You're showing it just fine because you're used to it.
Hello? Your voice is breaking. Hello?
Okay. Okay.
Hello?
Now? Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Yeah, last what I heard about. Yeah, yes.
The reason is you were fast in navigating to the screens or menus because you know how to do it.
Oh yeah, I got that. That's.
If you ask us to do the same thing, we'll be lost.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason I was asking the documentation.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
interested to see the boring, what do you call, flash presentations or the PPTs.
No.
I'm more vexed with them.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to see that. See, that's a problem. Amirpet. I've been to Amirpet and I've seen the kind of presentations they make. 250 people sit in one big auditorium and somebody will be showing a PowerPoint slide, and they'll say, "This is Tableau, Tableau." Sorry, I'm like I can't stand that. You got it? So that way, that doesn't work, and it's no wonder that like those people find it really difficult to find a job. Anyway, so we have like Rama, Archana. I'll upload all the documents, or why not create things in already existing folder. Let me check. Tableau training. Yes.
And upload little of your brain as well, okay?
See, there are some workbook which I have already uploaded to this Google Drive here, which will be used. I have a document which I normally use for training. Instead, I don't like walking people through the views and menus and say, hey, this menu is used for this stuff. Hey, this is what was forecast. No, I don't like it that way. Instead, what I do is I show them this requirement and explain the features of Tableau by solving these problems in the requirement doc. See that? State-wise analysis of sales. So I want to see state-wise analysis of sales and say that, okay, show data only for my specified range, and I should be able to change the date range. This is how typical Tableau projects are very short-term. Dashboard development will be short-term. You'll get an email, and then you'll be told like where the data is. You pull the data, connect to you fire up Tableau, connect to your data source, and then start working. And within hours you will deliver. Maybe by end of the day, or by tomorrow, the next day, you'll be delivering the report. The dashboard. See, you'll be getting questions like which ship mode is most profitable. Analysts should be able to slice and dice this across regions, categories, subcategories, so on, order priorities. So half of the problem is understanding the business. Like this, which was another in sales. Any pointers in data explaining the trend. We would like to roll out an offer for furniture for our customers. Find the list of customers who had spent 20% of their purchases on furniture last year. Wow, now how do you do that? Now that involves more than calculation, that involves an understanding. So we are rolling out an offer for furniture, and we need to find those customers who had spent 20% of their total spending, 20% of their total spending, okay, on furniture. We are not looking at our top buyers. We are looking at buyers who had spent 20% of their total spending on furniture, and for them we get that list, and then send an email to them about our offers. So once you walk through all these things and see find the states which have aggregated sales more than 20K and distinct count of products more than 100. So the crux of the problem is understanding this business requirement. If you understand this business scenario, your 50% of the requirement is done. Now what is remaining is to replicate this in Tableau. How to do that in Tableau, and how to figure that out. And usually Tableau projects or Tableau assignments are very short term. Individual dashboard will be short term. Engagement will be full term. You will be a full-time engagement, but dashboard will be always short term. And another thing is things are pretty informal. Unlike those software development projects in Tableau or any data visualization projects, including Spotfare, ClickView, Tableau, we don't follow the full software development life cycle. All that waterfall approach, nothing. We don't get any functional requirement documents. We don't get any tech design. There are companies which follow. Those companies which follow are, say, consulting companies which work for banks. there they are very particular about things. Even if things are slow down, they don't mind, but they want all the documents. So I have worked in G Capital. Oh, sorry. And G basically insists on lot of documentation, even for making a single change, even for renaming a column, you will need to update around almost 7 documents, which is starting with your tech design, your effort estimates, all the documents, everything has to be updated, and the sign-off has to be received for that. But these are for onshore-offshore model. If you're not going to work in onshore-offshore model, these things don't apply. In the onshore model out there, working directly for the client or the client side there, we might probably even not have a QA server, no development server. Everything would be done on the production directly. And that is because they don't have the luxury of time in tinkering with things. They just want answers. They are not going to keep all these reports for use later, because after some time these numbers lose value. So no SDLC, nothing. You just get email and then start working on it. And people whom I've trained before keep sending me emails and saying like, I've got a new requirement, I'm not sure like how to do that, so please help me with that. So I kind of like step in and answer those questions for them. They even send me data from their company, which I'm not supposed to reveal, but yes, I had to have emails from them with their company data. They have embedded the data and sent it across, asking me like to please help them solve it. HBS, popular content is sensitive data from one of my candidates' company. He was not able to solve it, and this data comes from Google BigQuery. Their company is using Google BigQuery and Google Analytics to pull data from their account and Google Analytics on how their sales and how their references are coming, some TV viewing data, okay, and he sent it across to get those questions answered. So this is how we'll go through this, and these problems which have specified in this document is already solved and uploaded to the Google Drive. That's what you see here: Tableau training, see row level summary, sales and shipping, some sample data, string manipulation, table calculations. All this have already been solved and uploaded. Let me add everybody there so that.
No, Varun, I have a question here.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
See, when you're saying that, I mean, whoever be the person, coming back to you to solve some problem. Well, what I feel is it's only understanding what the requirement is, right? So
that's the problem there. These people are not worked on Tableau. They don't. They still are coming to grips. These people who send me these requirements join the company.
Completely novice. What I understand is they don't know the industry at all.
Yes, and they have even joined the company even before they complete the training. I mean, like they apply. See, right now there are very few people who work in Tableau, and there is a huge opportunity there, and there are a lot of requirements. If you mention Tableau in any part of your resume and you post it online, you start getting all these calls, and then say, and the people who are going to interview you don't know Tableau, so it's very easy to get in right now.
But when the actual problem is, when actual requirement comes, these guys are unable to analyze what the requirement is.
Correct, correct. They know how to say, if you tell them, drag this column to row shell, drag this to column shell, apply this on the color shell, go to the details tab, do this, do that. They can follow those instructions, but they can't find out how would you do something like this, find the states which have aggregated sales more than 20K and distinct count of products more than 100. Which is why most people get rejected in interview in India, because companies here, Indians here, like they will poke under the skin and try to find out whether you whether you can analyze these kind of questions. Over there, if you sell that sizzle, you might probably get in, because they are from OBI, BO, they don't know Tableau. They want to move into Tableau and they want to find, get somebody who knows Tableau and start the practice. They have probably just got the acquired license and not even installed things.
Awesome. Then people like who have enough experience on domain knowledge and various business domains, it's an easy cakewalk and they can play in that area.
Correct. See, this guy, see, look at this. I just got an email 20 minutes back. This is a guy whom I've trained. Now he has an interview today. He's an OBI guy. And so I'm going to email him like, Krishna, call me after 9 a.m. IST.
Okay, anyway, you might have given him, given your students what are the typical questions that are going to be asked, right? Apart from the structured query language.
Yeah.
Apart from the structured query language, joins, blah, blah, blah. You might have given, what are all the normal, complex or typical questions that an interview,
typical interview.
But, awesome, this is good. Okay, let's go ahead.
This is the kind of questions that you get. I mean, like, see, let's get that straight. See, these are the kind of questions they ask. See, when somebody comes for interview, especially those OPT candidates, or I always see this interesting pattern repeating. Somebody from Andhra Pradesh, completed BTech, gone to US for MS, completed 2 years MS, OPT status, start looking for job, go to a consultant. Consultant gets in touch with me. Consultant pays me in training the OPT candidate. Candidate gets training. Some for some. So some are even lazy to edit the resume. So like I do that for them. Otherwise, like I give them links and on where to get those sample resumes. They edit it, they post it, and consultants will arrange interviews for them. I'll do some prep up. Consultant, first thing they'll ask is, can you take a proxy call? And now arranging a one-age number for me, another one for them, and then redirecting their one-age number to my one-age number, and then I set up one-age on my phone and then take up the call, which is a long process. But you pay $300 or $400, $300 you get a proxy in the US, and somebody attends the interview, they get in. And then they start working.
Good to know all the process, thank you.
but don't do it. Learn it and go. I mean, like, see, OPT candidates are not. They don't really respect that industry. I mean, see, I'm not against it. Like, that's what gives me a lot of money there. But I still want people to learn and understand before they go for the job. That's why I took the pain to create this document to explain the requirement-wise, how things would look. See the percentage calculation.
Don't mistake me. My elder kid will crack the interviews of Tableau, I bet you.
Yeah. So that's it.
My elder kid is in 7th class, and you might have seen her photographs on my wife's desktop yesterday when she shared. Because the crux lies in understanding what is the requirement. Once you understand it, it's all giggle of numbers and colors, and bar charts or whatever charts they're just throwing on the dashboard. That's it.
Correct. Yeah. So that's all you need. I mean, see, basically, the people pay attention to the tool. That is something wrong with our system. We learn how, but instead we should be more focusing. At least we should be focusing the initial days like on why and what. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because business needs insight. Earlier, people used to take gut feel decisions. You open a new store. How do you open a new store? I mean, you just rent a place and start something. No, that's the gut feel. But now they look at 50-kilometer radius or 50-mile radius. Like, are there any other general stores there? How much footfall do they get? What is the population there? What is the median salary of people, or what is the median income of people who live in that area? Is what sort of shops are there? What sort of products get placed there? What is the kind of movement there? They capture all this data and then try and analyze things, and that's when they start something now, because they want to take decisions on gut feel. There are still people who, they want to take decisions based on data. Even if when they take decision on gut feel, they still want to validate those decisions against data. That is what this tool is for. You cannot do this, get that insight from using Excel. And all the fancy-looking charts or visualizations are just to help you. Now, fanciness is not what they need. I will show you an actual report, okay, which is done at my candidate's company. I don't want to show that, but it looks very crappy. I mean, like, it is nothing fancy as you think. It is just a chart. I'm going to open that. I'm going to close that too. I don't want to share that. Now that is connecting to BigQuery, and see, this is the BigQuery it is getting connected to, and it is now this is embedded data, so it is like, see this, very simple. We are not looking at fancy charts and visualizations are for Tableau Public. Tableau Public is a free I'm getting calls today because they're trying to reach me to congratulate. Anyway, they have no idea, that I don't feel congratulated there. Okay. Anyway, see here, all these things, all they need is some insight, and they don't have time to even format these reports and make it look pretty, because they are trying to analyze data and get some insight, and board of directors need to take a decision and move on. There is something called Tableau Public where you can publish dashboards free. With an account you can dashboard, that is how people share. Say you set up an interview and client will ask you, can we see some of the sample dashboard that you've seen, then you create some mock-ups and publish to Tableau Public, and you share the link and they can access it and see that, okay, that's, and they can even download it. Instead of sending the workbook, if you send the workbook, then they would need Tableau installed on the machine. If they don't have Tableau, they can look at the work using a browser. So that's when you create all those colorful reports. But any company which is using Tableau for business is least concerned about all those nice formatting. They only want to see the numbers and want to have it, make a sense of all those numbers. And for that, this skill is most important than that fancy thing. See how to get this part here. Show the last order date. So we might probably have, say, one customer making multiple orders. And what we need is, we want to see only the last order for each customer. In SQL, you might probably write, order by descending and take the max of order date. Now, how do you do that in Tableau? I mean, there are some easy ways to do it. So that's the question. And then this is the next most crucial thing, the KPI, understanding the KPIs or benchmark or metric. I guess I said that yesterday. The KPI examples, look at that. For each business, there will be a separate set of KPIs. Would be, say, for insurance, for healthcare, for oil and gas, for supply chain management, for finance. There will be different set of KPIs for each industry. Say marketing, sales, help desk, finance. Let me show supply chain. I've worked on supply chain and finance. So there are other resources too. See, carrying cost of inventory. You need to understand these concepts because client will be speaking in these terms. Inventory to sales ratio. When this guy does not understand this, then it becomes difficult. Showing or doing these things in Tableau is the easiest part. In 15 hours, you learn. In 15 hours flat, you will learn how to do that in Tableau. But it will take you more time to understand this business part here. There, you'll have to read. I mean, those things. And of course, you have the documentation. Tableau documentation is easily available, like pretty much. Let me show you. Let me upload Tableau documentation if it is not already there. See, designing efficient workbooks, which is something that you should read. Tableau documentation, basic performance tuning. Tableau training. Okay, it's not there, so I'll upload those files. Tableau server, no, that's TIBCO server, sorry. High availability, reduced downtime with Tableau server. Tableau. Tableau Administrator Guide. Tableau Tutorial. Tableau getting started. There's one more. Tableau desktop, Tableau server, Tableau basic performance. Yep. There's one more book. Let me check. Where's that? Yeah, this one. Okay. Let me add everybody to this folder.
Hey, Varun, do we have any course content?
Yes, we do. We have the.
Do you mind mailing it to
yeah,
us?
Yeah, sure. I will upload that to Google Drive too. Everything.
Okay. The course content, like what is the day-wise
Yeah,
plan of teaching you have, things like that. That should be of great help. No?
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'm sorry, Archana, I don't have your email ID in this one. Can you ping me? Naveen? Yeah. Rajini, please, that is yours, right? Rajini there. Yeah, I'll upload everything to the drive. So, Archana, please, one more time your email. Yeah, thank you. And Naveen, yours too. Oh, you typed it wrong? Can you do that one more time? Yeah. So now you have access to all that. Just this is that. Do I have anything more? I mean, no. One of them is a 28 MB file. Others are like on the smaller side. See, Tableau Administrator Guide. And this book here, Tableau Desktop Windows 8.2, walks you through all these things. So you can use that as a desktop reference when you start working around. Recommend you to read it right away. But if you do that, it will be really helpful. You get those concepts really strong and get something to talk about in the interview. But in the interview, they will say, a little US people are asking in about Tableau. on the project that you worked on and the kind of visualization that you worked on and the biggest data set that you have worked on and why we used extract and how we did that, and on the business how you came across that decision on to depict a particular kind of data as a bar chart or a line chart, or when did you use it as a map chart, and how you do the year-over-year analysis or YTD analysis, and you also should know why this year-over-year analysis is done. If you ask somebody in India, interview will say, oh yeah, year-over-year analysis can be done, but they don't know why YOY is done, because sales are always seasonal. Look at car sales, look at cement sales. They don't sell, with the same peak every month or every quarter. Sales will always peak in the last quarter and the first quarter, because first quarter you have the budget, last quarter because the budget is going to be, the new year, new financial is going to start, and then whatever amount has been allocated will lapse. So they, especially government funds, they want cement because they kickstart the development process. So it's always seasonal. And regarding cars, nobody wants to buy a car in the month of December, because then the model will change, and you will be like, with the difference of just 1 month, you will be in an older model compared to newer model. So when you sell the car, you'll get that will fetch a lesser price. So there are certain reasons for why we do year over year, or the compare parallel period. We call it parallel period. Some people call it year over year. Parallel period would be like a generic term. Say same quarter this year compared with the same quarter last year, or previous year, or everything compared to first quarter, or everything compared to a base year. These comparisons, you'll say that, right? Like in $1950, you still do some analysis in $1970. Have you seen that in financial papers, Financial Times? You get comparisons across over a period of time, and say like when you compare some trend over decades, then you will compare in 1970s dollars or 1980s dollars. Make sense? So these kind of stuff most people don't pay attention to. And I always told everybody that before you learn how, you should learn why and what. And then once you understand the why part, and then say like what are you going to do, then like we can figure out like how to do that. Say YTD is simple. You want to see YTD, and you add this here. Okay. You add a date, and then expand it to say year, expand year to quarter or month, and then add a measure, and then right click and show YTD. And all these things are already been solved. So let me show. The document has already been uploaded, I guess. So I'm uploading the dashboard requirements document as well to this drive. So take a look at that. That is what we are going to stick to. See, I'm not added these information in the syllabus, this document and dashboard requirements. It's been some time since I updated it, but once you are used to this interface, we'll go back to the document, and we'll see how to do each and every item in that thing that is specified in the document. See, for instance, if you want to see state-wise analysis of sales, you can. Okay, you can. I'm saying you can, but that doesn't mean that you should. You can have a state-wise analysis of sales like this. Although you can, but should not be doing it this way. You can show profit too. It is much better if you represent it like this. Double click on sales. Either use show me to do a filled map, or this is a simple map, okay, or use the marks card here to do a fill map, and then color it by sales or color it by profit. And for those who have skipped the geography classes, you can add the state name to the label. You can show that too. And you can add sales value if you want. That's the idea. So instead of this, It's much better to see it like this way. Now the how part, this marks card, I want you to understand what is page shelf, what is filter shelf, what is marks card here, the column shelf, row shelf, the show me, and this requirement that comes up here, when the basic items that you need to pay attention to, and what all the thing means, and sheets, dashboard, and then how you drag things onto the dashboard and how you add it. Then once this is okay, then we'll go back to the requirement sheet and then start working on things. See, state-wise analysis of sales, of profit. Now city-wise analysis of sales. So here we have used a field map for state because we have state at the granular level. But when you're using city, you don't have that option. You cannot fill it up. So you'll rather use a symbol map. Now there is a reason why when I double click on city this map chart comes up, because it is associated as a geographical role. It has got a geographical role associated with that. Let's finish computing. And these things, pay attention to this. The latitude and longitude got generated. Okay, and this has been pulled in by Tableau, and see now we have the city there. And if you want to show the city on the label shelf, that will come up. And this one, if you want to show this size of the city as based on sales, you can drag and drop sales onto the size. And see, bigger size means bigger sales. And you can make it a little more bigger, all of them. And I do see that there are some overlapping. And I want to see that overlapped items too. I want to see that there's some overlapping there. So it's easy. Click on color shelf and a little bit reduce the opacity there. So now you can see that. Now people like to see a little black border around it just to make sure that things stand out. So okay, much better. See, and you hover on it, you get the sales. You add profit onto the detail shelf. So when you hover on it, you get the sales, a profit too. I'll get to the portions later. I mean, like I don't want to explain it this way. This is very, very boring. This is that PowerPoint part. Okay, okay, building from the scratch is interesting, but I don't want you to learn how to create a map and how to do that. I want you to understand it from this perspective. Okay, this city-wise analysis of profit. Now, how do you do that? Okay.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Of course, yes.
Like, while we pull the data from different databases to Tableau, are we supposed to create the dimensions and the measures, or will Tableau like it automatically get created creates the dimensions and the measures?
I call it creates auto-magically.
Okay.
We don't have to do it. There's a little bit of automatic and there's a little bit of magic too. See, any number measures are numbers. So ideally all numbers should come here, right?
Yes.
If that had come in that way, I would have called it automatic. But it's a little magic to it. Tableau, in its infinite intelligence, identified customer ID as a dimension because by naming convention, it understood that this is not a measure at all. So sum of customer ID will not make sense. So that it automatically pulled customer ID to here. Now, if Tableau makes a mistake, everybody can make a mistake. So if that makes a mistake, then you can actually pull things from there to here to show up here.
Okay.
Okay. See, over here it is blue. Over here it is green. Pay attention to that color coding. Why? Because green is for green pill and blue pill. I'll show you a quick example there. Order priority. Color of the pill is blue. Sales. Color of the pill is green. For anything that is blue, that is discrete. So if you add a quick filter for blue, you'll always have a pick list, a list picker, right? Whereas for continuous values or the green pill, continuous values, if you show something, it will always come as a range because those are continuous values 1, 2, 3, 2.5, 3.5, 6, 7, 8. Whereas order priority is always, I mean discrete values you can always pick and choose from that instead of as a range. Blue pill, green pill. And we can convert a blue pill to a green pill or green pill to a blue pill by converting here, not here, let me show that ship date and profit. See this, now this is a blue pill. I can convert it to continuous and make it green. So now we have say month, see that, month of ship date, and it's now a continuous chart. But if I make it discrete and then show the month here, see, and the calculation will be different. See, I'm going to show year here and then make it discrete and then add that quarter. Discrete, continuous, we'll get there. Blue, green, blue pill, green pill. One is discrete, one is continuous. This is discrete, this is continuous.
Okay.
Is it there? See, I got a discrete item because it is blue pill. But if I show that as continuous, I get a range. Now there are certain calculations too. Those YTD and those calculations will not be enabled. See, this YTD calculation will not be enabled if the date is in continuous mode. We have to make it in the discrete mode. So we'll get there. I don't want, these kind of explanations are what confuse people. Then you'll say, oh, this is very cryptic. But when you understand it this way, it becomes so easy to understand.
Okay.
Because you are solving a problem rather than learning something. And the Wilford or Pareto's like 80-20 rule, those things, and table calculation. The only thing that is going to be a little tough to understand, a little cryptic, would be table calculations. But we'll spend enough time on that and try and understand those things.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Oh my God, overshot the time. Sorry. 9:05. Okay. Anyway, we started 5 minutes late. Okay. Oh, I forgot. My next class is cancelled. He has some emergency. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and shoot.